Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio.
Welcome and good morning to the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. I'm not here to save your soul. I'm here to save your business. My dad was a preacher. He was in the soul-saving business, but I am in the business-saving business. That's my ministry. And I bring it to you in the flesh every Friday at 10:30 a.m. right here on this platform. I am a business developer by trade. I help companies in the business space, in the technology space, in the communication space, PR space. I'm also an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College. Written a couple of books in the government space. Everything I do is tied into my purpose, my raison d'etre, my reason for being, and that is to help businesses grow and to prosper. And this show is just one leg of that manifestation, and I'm proud to be here. We're actually celebrating another anniversary of being on this show. 16 years now. We started in 2010 over at Radio 1 under the tutelage and Miss Dr. Kathy Hughes. Great team of people over there, Miss Karen Jackson and Alonzo and Alex and Kevin, just a great group of people. And we started back on that platform, Radio 1. We still keep the communications open. We've gone mostly digital now, but we have a long history of successes and guests and co-hosts and had people like, of course, the famous Joe Madison, who passed away a couple of years ago, Dr. Benjamin Chavis, he was one of our guests. Cece McCullough, the lady from Girlfriends, the actress from Girlfriends, and countless business owners and authors and entrepreneurs. And we're just happy that we've had this platform to be the voice of the business community. We went into the pandemic. I remember that day back in March of 2020, when Radio 1 told us, hey, we have a pandemic on our hands. We got to take a break. We took a break and we went digital. That digital bug bit us. It's like, hey, this thing works. We're hitting the bigger audience and a lot more people and the technology that comes with it. So we're glad the show has evolved over the years. I want to thank everybody, particularly some of my amazing co-hosts, Mr. William Maxwell, Alina Severn. She's a news anchor out in the Utah, out somewhere in the middle of the valley, somewhere out west. Wayne Wise, amazing therapist, Falasha Day, CPA accountant, Tisha Hillman, attorney, and last but definitely not least, Miss Candice Cammile. Man, she was like the rock. And matter of fact, she's going to be joining us. I am honored to bring her back today. We're going to talk about some things, and I'm just glad to have her joining us back today. It's been a long time. Looking forward to it. I also want to dedicate this show. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and bring Candice in here. She can help me on. She's such a good co-host. I'm not going to call her a guest. I'm just going to say she's our honorary co-host. Good morning, Candice.
Good morning. How are you, Robert?
It is so good to see you again.
You too. I miss this sort of thing. I miss it. I really do.
Well, we're going to get you back if you don't mind. I'd like to keep you.
I don't.
Any chance I can get you on here, I want to go ahead and take advantage of it because you bring such a wealth, and we always have such good chemistry on the air. I always appreciate that. But things happen. The pandemic came along, and it just turned everybody's world upside down. And so people readjusted, and so before I get into that, let everybody know again who you are. So
Well, I am super excited to be here. It's been years and listening to you 2010, 16 years. Just congratulations to that. But I
Thank
am
you.
I am Dr. Candice Cammile, the Wellologist. And just like Robert, been around in business for 20 years. What I do, I'm a speaker, coach, trainer, CEO of Candice Cammile Enterprises, founder of the Sexy Fit and Well movement, where we create your wellness experience through meals, mindset, and movement with results you can see in your body and feel in your soul, and ultimately reaching your wellness goals. Hopefully, why, especially as an entrepreneur, why you out here hustling, in this world. So trying to stay well, stay healed, and thrive and survive as we're going through trying to keep up or trying to stay relevant in this world of technology and AI and everything that's going on.
Oh,
So I am super excited to be here.
well, we need people like you because it is getting more challenging to navigate this world we're in. And that's why I think it's ultra important that we bring in people like yourself who put your health. You can't do any of it if you're not well. Now I did want to dedicate this show. I come to you with a heavy heart today. One of my most dear friends and clients, Miss Pamela Lowell, she passed away this month. Her daughter contacted me this about a day or two ago, and I have not been right since. She's been on this show. She was a client of mine long as, gosh, about 50, long as I've been on the air. She was a therapist. She had a very successful business called Sensory 3, and she was a mom, just a good person. She was really like family because she always checked on me. She always used to ask me about my mom. How's your mom, Gatewood? How's your mom doing? She would always ask about the family, and just a good person. I have a little videos to remind people who some may remember her from being on the show. And she was also a client. She was a tenant over in the building where I work. Just some people just good people, the angels on this earth. So I just put together a little video. It was actually a video of one of her ads that we created for her, and it just gives you a sense of who she is, and just a reminder of people of who Pam is.
Our demonstration today will be on how to integrate the Sensory 3 Rain Stick into your individual therapeutic session. Let's watch. Hello, how are you? Because I know you mentioned earlier that you had a stressful trip here and all the rain and it just was hectic. So let's get centered, okay? Okay, I'll let you do it in that way and remember to relax. Relax. Well, that concludes our demonstration, and I'd like to thank you for watching.
Wow.
Pam had a business called the Sensory Rain Stick, and it was a stick. Matter of fact, I have one in my corner over here. It's a stick that it has pebbles in it, and when you tilt it, it has the sound of rain. And she used it in her therapy sessions, and she was in the process of introducing it into the school systems. When kids were acting up, she felt that instead of invoking this harsh discipline, they needed something to calm them down. So she was really pushing that, really up into her final days. And so I'm really dedicating this show to Pam and to her family, her daughter, who contacted me this week. And she used to bring her grandkids by the office, and I can't say enough about this. Matter of fact, she came by the office about the beginning of this year. She just said she wanted to come by and check on me because I told her I had a couple of health challenges myself, and she was sending me information, do this and do that, and my journey this and my journey that, and I want to make sure you're well. And so, like I said, some people are put on this earth as angels, and I felt like she was one of those people. So really, really big loss.
Oh,
Really big loss.
condolences, Robert, to you, her family, and all. As I sit here and listen to her and saw her video, you never know, but
I know.
condolences to her family. Yeah,
I know it's kind of hard to find words after
yeah,
after that, just saying that little clip. I mean, just imagine
yeah.
knowing her for 16 years and she was that person throughout. Just nurturing and intelligent, just a beautiful person inside and out. And so I'm gonna really miss her. I think the thing I missed the most when I would come back from North Carolina, she would always ask about, how's Miss Gatewood? How's Miss Gatewood? Have you called your mom? I mean, I haven't called her yet, fam. I was just down there last week. No, you have to call your mom. You never know how long they're gonna be here.
Ooh.
So I'll hurt for that, keeping me grounded and making sure I check on mom. All right, let me just take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'm here with my amazing guest, Miss Candice Cammile. Don't you go anywhere. We will be back in a moment.
Still using your home address for your business? Protect your privacy and elevate your brand with a professional business address and mailbox service from BLE Business Services. Call 301-322-1700 or visit www.blesuites.com. BLE, where professionalism meets convenience.
All right, we're back. Say hello to a couple of people. I see Brother Brown in the room, in the audience. He's sending over. He said, I know Miss Candice Cammile. Got a fan out there, Candice. She has
Hey,
several.
girl.
I see Pat out of North Carolina. She's saying congratulations on the show. Thank you. I see Attorney Bradley Thomas. Bradley Thomas, thank you for those condolences. As we were just talking about Miss Pamela Little, who left us this month. I think about one day after I had sent her a Mother's Day greeting, I wonder why I didn't hear back from her. Like, that's not like Pam. She's always seemed to respond. But we're going to just continue to keep her family in our prayers, and we have to keep going and do represent what they stood for.
And Robert, one of the things I would be remiss if I wouldn't say, because again, in this fast-paced world that we're going through, we really do have to check on each other. So knowing each other's behaviors and patterns, like you said, it's not like her not to call you back. So it is like so important to stay in touch and check on those folks all the time, especially if patterns and behaviors change and you don't know it, and check on some of your strong friends, especially those healers out there, so you can stay in touch and know what's going on.
That is so important, Candice. This has happened to me more than once in my life, where somebody may have called, and you didn't call them back, and I mean, we get busy, and sometimes it's like, well, I'll call them back next week, and I don't fault people for not calling everybody back like in 5 minutes, because we are busy, and sometimes we have to take care of ourselves too. But you do have to, people that are dear to you and are close to you, you just check in every now and then. You don't have to get into a 2-hour conversation. Sometimes just a text. I'm just checking on you. I don't want anything. And those memories, those little gestures will actually help calm you when you're faced with some type of tragedy. That I checked in. I know that I was in that corner, and you remember them. So, but we're going to move on. I want to talk about also, Candice, this is graduation season. And so a lot of people being thrown out into the workplace. I say thrown out, not in a negative way, but it feels like it.
It feels like it, right?
It feels like it, right? Because in the old days, it's like everybody was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Now they're walking out there, they're like, what the heck? What about me throwing this meat grinder?
That's a good analogy thrown into the meat grinder because things are so different now. Our parents, grandparents, even professors and teachers kind of guided us or had something lined up, or you had something lined up. But right now, it feels like you're just thrown out there into the pile and not sure exactly what you're going to do, or have this last 4 years of your life or whatever degree that you've gotten. Are you going to be able to work in those positions that you're trained for? Is it something that you have to do to just survive?
Exactly right.
Just survive to get to your next, because it's definitely not like it used to be in the professions that's out here now.
I want to take a quick minute also. Attorney Bradley Thomas, I want to acknowledge his 2 years ago, his wife Terry left us. I mean, another amazing, beautiful person. I had the pleasure of meeting when Bradley was doing his campaign and all the other many adventures that he's been involved in. I had the pleasure of meeting his wife, and he's reminding us that it's been 2 years. He called it he lost the wind beneath his wings, and he understands this loss that we go through. And so I also want to say, Brother Thomas, love you, and I do share your grief with the loss of your amazing wife, Terry. She was indeed, I could see that she was the wind under your wings. And so continue prayers for you and your family, your son and your daughter. And that's a beautiful family, the Bradley family, Thomas family. And Bradley's been a constant supporter of the show. He's been a guest. He's been always there. We've worked together so many years. And so my love and support goes out to you and your family during this time and this reminder, this anniversary. So thank you for reminding me, and you're in our prayers as well. Good brother, really good brother.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna try to get through this show.
But you know what, Rob,
I
you
didn't
can get through. You can get through. Take a deep breath, because one of the things, for just like Brother Bradley, even for those that we lost and we think about it, I always say, look at them directly in the mirror and what would they tell you right now? And it's basically to keep going. To keep going. So even for Bradley to get the wind back under his wings and his sails, because his wife wouldn't want him to be flattened. So at the end of the day, you have to try to do what's necessary to keep going. And most of the time that's talking about it or getting in a community just to make yourself relevant and do it. They want you to stay. That's for sure. They truly want you to stay and be prosperous as you go along with this and continue that. They're gone physically, but the spirit of them, all of them, are still here. And you get to take that deep breath and inhale them right now and give it your best shot. Like, what would they say to you right now, in terms of, I got to keep this thing going?
Yeah, yes. Thank you. You're definitely the person I needed on the show today. uh, so talk about these grads for a minute. Like you said, I don't want them to be too intimidated, but just a couple of quick tips to the grads. Just want to throw my little hat in the ring and kind of throw out my wisdom. I've been out here. I've seen a little long in the tooth, a lot of things that they're about to walk into. I remember when I walked across that stage many years ago. I was a little intimidated too, but the landscape's a little different back then. I mean, it had its own challenges, but today I think we're facing some unique challenges. But the thing to remember that even though we have AI and things like that, the grads today have more tools at their disposal than ever before. So don't necessarily look at that as a negative. Look at these tools as how you can use them to help further your goals and your purpose. and that you're by having access to this all this information that we didn't have before, use this to your benefit because of course everybody has these same tools, but they are not you. Creativity is still a reward.
Mm.
You don't, there's only one you. No matter how many AI tools they come out with, how much technology comes out, they're not going to make another you. So
Ooh.
the same people that were inspired to do things like the internet and fire wheels, they were all innovations at the time, but it took people to make them work, to take them to that next level and to build upon it. So that's the challenge I put upon the future workforce, and that the jobs of tomorrow, they're still being created.
Yeah.
We're not seeing the end, we're seeing the beginning of this new revolution, of this new evolution of the workforce. And look at your degree is not a destination, but it's the foundation that's going to help you and prepare you for these challenges and opportunities. And you don't have to wait for permission to create success.
Ooh,
This
can I just come drop in because you don't have to wait for permissions to create success, especially in this world of AI, you know. So a lot of us are here, especially for those older, so for those of us that's older, you know, if you're in the 60, 70 age, you're like, what the hell, AI? How am I going to navigate this thing, right? But I want to say to the grads right now, even in the world of AI, before you can start to go anywhere, I want you to think of AI as this, and I know we think of it, we know it as artificial intelligence, but my AI is activate your intention, right? How are you going to activate your intention based on the tools that we have right now in order for you to stay creative and move? Just like, as you know, when you think about the year 2000, when we thought everything was going to crash and with
right,
the internet and, you know, Y2K
right,
and
PK,
all of this stuff, and we got beyond all of that. So right now, you know, trying to stay relevant in event of AI is that what's your intention with it? Because it could be so confusing because so much stuff is out here. But I always say activate your intention on your creativity, like you talked about, as you move forward and how you're going to make your impact in this world. So as a 70-year-old, when I activate my intention, especially in the world of physical fitness and health and wellness, like how do you stay relevant in it? So even for the grads, you have to do the same thing. How am I going to stay relevant in this world of new tools I got in my toolkit? And how am I going to make my impact, my footprint, so we can build upon it, not around it?
that is very good, Candice. I mean, you really hit some very important points, and kind of goes back to this thing that I've always been pushing, not just with graduates or AI, but your uniqueness is really going to be one of your biggest assets.
Yes.
Be creative, be who you are. Inside of you is a purpose. You're on this planet for a reason, and these things like AI, they're just tools to help you grow it and expand it and build upon it. So look at these tools as exactly for what they are. They're to help you to magnify what it is you're here to do. And so never lose sight of that. I've done a few shows where I said people kind of they look at AI as like a destination instead of the tool that it is. And you know, it's hard to have a conversation now without putting AI in it. I didn't mean to do an AI sermon today, but it is so evident, it's so everywhere, it's so omnipresent that we have to almost run every discussion through the prism of how this going to affect, how is this going to apply in the world of AI. And so when I look at the grads, I have to keep pounding this drum of individuality, creativity. And one thing that also, as a professor at the college, I know when social media first became the hot topic of the day, I used to tell the students, use AI and don't let it use you. And also, I have to layer in a sermon on ethics and integrity because the group that coming out now, they
Robert,
have the opportunity.
no, hold you for 1 second. I need to plug in right now, and I've been on this so long. So you continue to talk. I have to go plug in. I'll be right
Okay,
back.
go right ahead. So what I've been telling the students and anybody who will listen is that integrity, ethics, fairness, justice, they are more important now than they ever have been. So I challenge the new grads as we are facing things like artificial intelligence, some of the security and losses of privacy. Let this be the generation that bring in a new level or a new focus on integrity and fairness and justice, making sure people don't get left behind. We're seeing billionaires being created like it used to be millionaires. I don't want to sound like a socialist, but I mean, how many $1 billion does a person need when you have people starving? When you have a government cutting out things like US aid and SNAP benefits for families? Let this generation, this next generation, be the one that stabilizes. Let them be the governor, the catalyst that brings us back into a world where people do care about other people, where people do look at some of these billions that they own and making sure that nobody goes hungry, that no person is left on the street. So that's my challenge to the next generation, to the grads, and to the people who are already here, who are already doing their thing. How many $1 billion do you need? How many bedrooms? How many yachts? How many planes? I would have a difficult time sleeping at night, sitting on that kind of money and knowing people are starving. I'm just telling you. But there are some people that are making a difference. I take my little money that I have and I try to spread as far as I can to help people, of course, within reason. I'm not going to be, a sucker, but there are things that you can do to make a difference. Sometimes it doesn't even mean spending your own money. It just means shifting the narrative, shifting the direction of government, of industry, of the church, of the institutions.
Yes.
It doesn't have to come out of your pocket. It just needs to come out of your heart. Go ahead, Candice.
And you're absolutely correct. So like you said, without folks using you for a nicer way to say that, but you could make a difference depending on where you put your time and energy. And like you, Robert, the fact of the matter is that it is unreal that we have so many people that's homeless and still don't have your basic stuff that's going on and being hungry in here. So you figure where can you put your energy, your money, your time to make it better? Because that's what we have to look at, because we already have some of the systems in place. For instance, like you just said, the church, are they helping people still? I really have that, is that what's really going on, because it's just getting worse. So I was homeless probably maybe 40 years ago, and it's still going on to this day. So you have to try to figure out exactly what has changed and what can we do, because especially here in America, where we are in a DMV, it's so much people that's still homeless and that's hungry and trying to afford apartments. You have to live 6 or 7 deep and try to just pay the rent. Like, how do we put our time and efforts on making things better? And basically that boils down into the system. Like, how do we get inside the system, the political system, all the system, to make things really better for us, instead of it being what's in it for me? How about what's in it for us, and how do we make it better?
I like trying to think of one of the politicians, that lady's name. She used to make this comment that I'm not mad that you're making money, but you didn't make it by yourself.
Mm.
There's nobody in the world smart enough to be a billionaire. It took other people. You can't work hard enough to be a billionaire. It takes other people. And are you reaching back and helping those that help you and those that are impacted by your works? Sometimes your work that you're doing is not necessarily good for society. So I'm like I say, I'm not hating on wealth and people who are doing well, but I do think that the next generation has to put the brakes on this unbridled capitalism.
Ooh.
It has to have some type of governor or some type of reign to make sure that, because the gap is just getting wider and wider and wider. This is not me just here talking musing. This is actually fact. The gap between the people at the bottom and the people at the top is getting wider and wider. So that's just one of my own little personal challenges to the people that are coming out of school right now, is that let's be more sensitive to what's happening and making sure that, without sounding cliche, that nobody gets left behind. Candice, let's talk a minute about wellness for a minute. We talked about everything yesterday, but
wait a minute, Robert. You got a minute? You got a minute? Let's just talk about it.
I hope you have another minute or two.
I do.
But people are, and we get in this situation. We're in this era now where everybody's hustling and bustling and thriving, succeeding. But are they taking care of themselves? Are they taking time to, you go through this big presentation, you launch this big company, that takes a toll on your body. Do you take the time to sit down and let the body heal? Help us out on this, because I know you probably have some advice that I can use.
Healing while you're hustling, right? So it's interesting when I say that, because at the end of the day, we're all hustling to a certain degree. We're trying to hustle our name so we no longer have to hustle, but the no longer have to hustle is not coming. So you're continuing in that hustle mode. You burnt out, you done cleared your boundaries, you don't have no peace. You have to figure out, how do I stay healed? How do I stay in this world of competitiveness? You're trying to keep aboard or above board as we go. So even for somebody that's in the wellness business, right, you would think that we are all well. But even when you're looking at your friend that's going on, we're so busy trying to heal you that we forget about ourselves as well. So it's the same thing. Back in the day, what healers did was hold the space until you're ready to heal yourself. But right now, we are putting so much energy in trying to get the information with you and work with you and do the things to make you better, that we're forgetting about ourselves too as we go along. But for those of us out here that's hustling, you have to make sure you put yourself in the hustle. And I think that's the piece that we forget. We are so busy hustling, trying to make money or build our equity up, that we forget about our body equity, and then we break down. See, because that's the piece when you talk about equity. We hustling, like you said, I'm not trying to be a billionaire, but I'm still trying to hustle to see what I can do so I can stay comfortable and make sure my kids in this generational wealth as we go along, or create this legacy, as we say. But we're killing ourselves while we're trying to create the legacy, because we're not taking that minute inside of that hustle to heal. And it doesn't have to be a lot. I'm not asking you, for things that you should do, but it should be incorporated in your daily hustle, in your daily program, right? Movement should be incorporated in your daily hustle. So when was the last time you worked out, right? When was the last time you did a plank? And I'll talk about that later. But at the end of the day, what are you eating? Are you eating on the go? Are you eating, when you're talking about eating foods, is it healing you or is it harming you? Most of the time when we're in our hustle, we're eating stuff that's harming us because it's on a go. We ain't got a lot of time. We are eating the convenient foods. I was doing a meet and greet at McDonald's not so long ago, and I was mortified to see how many people was in McDonald's at 8 o'clock in the morning, straight up to 11 o'clock. I was mortified that these are the places that we're going to get nutrition. And to be well, it doesn't take a lot. It needs you to be a little smart, to be a little smart about what it is that you're putting in your mouth. Because even as we're hustling, what we don't realize is the correlation between how you move, how you eat, how you sleep, how you hydrate. You don't know that correlation is going to give you your hustle power. And that's why we burn out. And that's why we have to stop. We're not meshing as we're hustling and healing. And meshing is just an acronym for move, eat, sleep, hydrate. If you could just take that mesh and incorporate it into your hustle, you'll be able to hustle a little longer. But not only that, you'll get so much clarity and uniqueness that comes into your thought process, because the brain fog will be going away because you've gone to sleep. So therefore, go ahead and mesh.
Give me that mesh again. Like that.
So
meshing, I was trying to make sure I got it.
Meshing is this, right? And everybody should be meshing daily. You should be moving daily. Okay. Moving is the M, right? The E is eating well, right? When was the last time you ate something green? Last time I checked, my darling ain't had nothing green, right? Eating. The S is sleeping. How often are you really sleeping? Are you getting that 7 to 9 hours in a night? And the H is hydration. The water. Are you drinking that bare minimum of 64 ounces of water a day? But if you're doing that mesh just a little bit, if you just lean in 1% of it, your hustle won't break you. Because what happens is we hustle so much, we have to stop and heal, especially as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, and you're it. And then you have to stop in order to take care of yourself in order to get it, right? In order to get well, you cannot keep hustling if your body breaks down. And sometimes it's trying to talk to you, and sometimes it does it through extreme measures because you're not listening.
Mesh, movement, eating, sleeping, and hydrating.
That's it.
Boy, that's it. I mean, that sums it up in a nice acronym. Movement, make sure you're moving. So get up off that chair every now and then and walk around instead of sitting at your desk for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours at a time. Eat something green, and I don't mean green like that stuff in the back of the refrigerator that's been there for 2 years. Green like healthy green.
Not a green gummy. Not a green gummy. Eat some green vegetables.
Sleep. Now that's I think everybody should take. I'm so guilty of that. Of all the ones you just mentioned, that's the one where I'm dropping the ball, because I'm moving. I get up in the morning, I get on the treadmill, I'm eating healthier. Hydrating. I'm not doing that enough either. I mean, I could use some help in all of them, but I think it's good that you put this acronym out here. So if anybody gets lost and they just, instead of going to a complicated, long discussion, say, look, just mesh.
Just mesh.
Move around, eat, sleep, and drink some water.
And let me just mesh when you go back, because it is so much information out here. We are in overload. We don't know what to do. So go mesh. Ask yourself, did I move today? What did I eat? How many hours did I sleep? How much water did I drink? And when we think about moving, and I want to be very, very clear on this, and I want everybody to lean in on this one. You just can't take a walk. Not as you're getting older. You just can't walk around. You just can't walk on the treadmill. Let me tell you something. Our muscles degenerate till it breaks our bones down. Because if you don't have any muscle mass, it is putting holes inside of your bones. So you just can't walk. Walking ain't going to build your muscles. It's going to clear your mind. Walk, yes, but you have to be doing some resistance training and some bodybuilding, some weight bearing exercises on your body if you want to stand strong when you get older. So no, Robert, you need to do more than walking. So even if you cannot go to the gym. Of course, it's those 3 exercises that you can do stepping away from your computer right now. And of course, it's planking. I am a world-renowned planker, world record contender still for planking. And all this time, you never not do it. So planking is one of them. So if you don't have 60 minutes to go to the gym, you got a minute to get down and plank. You got a minute to get down and do 20 push-ups, and you got a minute to get down and do 20 squats. Those are weight bearing exercises along with your walking. So if you're just getting up, taking the walk, no sir, no ma'am, that's not enough. And I'm telling you, it's not enough. I don't care what any internet or anybody said. You have to do more than walking. And if you got 3 hours to walk, you got 20 seconds to plank, 20 squats, and 20 push-ups. So you got to add more to that if you want to be okay. And
are we planking on that? Is that a plank?
oh yes, we are planking. Oh my God.
When you were saying that, I remember one day we were about to go on the air.
Yeah, Radio One. And
Candice laid me down on the floor planking.
You gotta plank, you gotta squat, you gotta push. That will help you in your movement. Oh my God.
Look at that crash landing I did, though, Candice. Look at that crash landing. That crash landing I did at the end. Though. That was.
He held on for his minute, almost, y'all. I remember that day like it was yesterday. Oh my God. Yes, planking.
I kept saying, Candice, how did this planking thing work? She said, come on, let me show you. I had my suit on and everything. I'm going to plank before I leave the studio today.
And you can plank anywhere and in anything. It doesn't cost you nothing but a minute of your time, but you will build your muscles for life. So it's not about longevity, because we're always talking about living long. But if you broke, busted, and disgusted in your health, what's the sense of being alive if you can't move, if you can't stand up? So at the end of the day, one of the things you want to do is you want to live long and you want to live strong.
And Candice, you're freezing up. Can we hear you? Come back.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
There you go. So you know that I want to hear. I forgot to tell you, Robert, I live up in the woods now, so I done moved away from society. So the internet is no. Well, I'm still in the area, but more so up in the woods. I done moved out of the city. But absolutely love it back here. One of the things about it is that we want to have strongevity, not just longevity, because it doesn't make any sense to live long if you're ill, right? If your health is not in order, but you want to add your strength to that. So you want to live long and strong. In order to do that, you have to mesh. It's important. If you want to continue your hustle, you have to mesh. If you don't want to be bent over, if you want to be able to still stand up straight and not shuffle while you walk, you have to mesh. So at the end of the day, older I get, 70 was a game changer for me, as you go through it, right? As you go through it. So at the end of the day, what does 60 or 70 look like for you as you go through your hustle right now? Are you going to still be able to hustle when you get to those age ranges and still be healed and still heal? I'm telling you right now, from the population that I work with, you will not if you do not mesh.
I'm gonna mesh. I will start meshing. I'll be meshing when I get off this phone, off this line. Look, Candice, like I say, this tells me that I got to get you back. We could talk probably another 2 hours. But what I'd like for you to do is let people know how they can find you, because I'm sure people are saying, I need to talk to this young lady so I can learn how to mesh. I'm sure there's more to it than that. There's some details they probably need to work out, and they could probably work that out with you. So give us some information on how to reach you.
You can reach me, of course, at CandiceCammile.com, sexyfitandwell.com. I am on all social platforms at the Wellologist or Candice Cammile. And yes, there are tools that you all have your toolkit for everything. You know, just like the AI toolkit, you have your health toolkit as to what you need to do in between those acronyms. That's going to keep you well throughout the course of your life. So follow me on social media. At the Wellologist, across the board. And one quick thing about the Wellologist, 8 years ago, Robert, I started the trademark on the Wellologist, right? And I had to fight just this month. I finally got my trademark on the Wellologist. I say all that to say is that you got to stay in the game. You got to keep fighting no matter what. Just because as long as you keep fighting and doing this, Robin, what years ago you built my website, and I've been working with lawyers and all the things to get this done. And I got somebody fought me every step of the way. But when you hustle, right? You hustle and you heal and and you're passionate about, and you're convicted about who you are and what you have to do. The hustle and the healing part says keep going and keep going to infinity. See, because there's no beginning and there's no ending to be well. And meshing will give you that fight, that hustle. So yes, follow me at the Wellologist. Let's talk about some of the things you can do. I have an online fitness. I have a gym that I built that's in person, as well as the mental, the movement, the mindset, and the meals. So being a certified nutritionist, life coach, and a master trainer, I'm able to hit you on all three of those things because those are the things that you need to stay well. So hustle in your healing the same way that you're hustling in your money. So building your bank equity, you have to build your body equity the same way.
Mercy, mercy, mercy. Give you a hallelujah. Candice, thank you again. I really appreciate you, and thank you for the many years that we worked together on the show. I'm so glad that we were able to reconnect today with this powerful message. Thank you for the kind words towards Pam and her family, and Terry and Attorney Bradley and his family. Your timing is always on point. So something told me you were the person up to the task today. So I'm just so glad that you were able to join me to make this very momentous show a success. And I'm not joking when I say I'm going to be looking for you again in the very, very near future. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you, Candice.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was Candice Cammile, Dr. Candice Cammile. She's the Wellologist, and she has been a great friend and co-host and client, and she's one of those folks that's on my short list of people that I plan to always keep in my life in some capacity or the other. So I'm just hoping she's listening to that, because I will be finding her again. And once again, to the family of Pam, who we lost this month. I had a quick video of her when she was on the show back in, it must have been 10 years ago or longer. Just gonna put that up just quickly.
I mean, why is she in a classroom where she should be learning with a phone? There was something going on that probably had her, where she needed to be attached or connected to that device for her own, personal attachment.
Let me answer that. That's Pamela Little. Once again, sorry to see you go, but you would never, ever, ever be forgotten. If you're in the DC area, come on out to the First Friday networking event we have on the first Friday of every month. We're going to be next week on June 5th. So come on out. I'll be there. Miss Bernadette Clay, who's also one of our sponsors of this show, BLE Executive Suites. They have their 3 locations in the DC area, one over in Largo, one in College Park, and one in National Harbor. So come on out, go to blesuites.com and hit the events button, or go to Marketing Pulpit. Just register. And if you're in the area, just come on out. You don't have to register. Come on in and have lunch on us, courtesy of BLE Executive Suites. I'll be greeting you at the door, or I'll be in there somewhere. So come on out. Thanks again for everybody for listening today. We went a little longer than usual, but this, I feel like, was well worth it. So we'll see you next time right here on the Marketing Pulpit Radio Show. As I like to say at the end of every show, if you want to be successful, you have to do these 3 things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.